Vice President Kashim Shettima visits former First Lady Aisha Buhari and children in London. Residents flee as bandits attack Niger communities. Death toll in Kano building collapse rises to 4, with several others injured. On the foreign scene, 89 killed in Syria sectarian clashes. Good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. Vice President Kashim Shettima has met with and condoled with the family of the late former President Muhammadu Buhari in London. The Vice President also visited the late President's nephew, Malam Mandora, who is recuperating in a London hospital. The condolence visit took place while the Vice President awaits the conclusion of procedures and documentation for the repatriation of former President Muhammadu Buhari's body to Nigeria. Vice President Shettima is accompanied by the Chief of Staff to the President, Mr. Femi Bajabiamila, the Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugga, and the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadija.
We are here, Baba, at the instance of President Bola Tinubu to come and fiercely identify with the family in this period of grief. It's not a loss to the family alone, but to the entire nation. And the President was personally grieved, was personally touched. He said he's one of us. That was the exact word he used. May Allah grant the soul of our patriarch, of our father, eternal rest, and reward him with his Al-Jannah Firdaus. And may Allah also give the family, the government and people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. It was an institution. He has sought the lives of each and every one of us here. Words cannot adequately capture the depth of our grief. But inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Once again, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please accept our heartfelt condolences.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm grateful to all of you for coming to commiserate with us on the death of Muhammad Buhari. I spoke to the President yesterday and he told me the same thing as you did.
That's right. In the morning or early in the morning. Or when? Let's find out when. Or when in the morning. What will be a
Back home in Nigeria, the Katsina State Governor Dikko Umaradna has announced the burial arrangements of former President Muhammadu Buhari, who passed away on Sunday, July 13, in a hospital in London. At a press briefing on Monday, the Katsina State Governor said following consultations with the late president's family and close associates in London, it has been agreed that the remains of the former leader would arrive in Katsina on Tuesday, July 15, by noon.
I wish to announce the burial arrangement for our father, the late President Muhammadu Buhari, who passed out yesterday in a hospital in London. And we have made consultation with the family, and we have made consultation with the people around him in London, and we concluded that the body will arrive Katsina tomorrow, inshallah, by about 12 noon, and the burial is going to take place in Daura about 2 p.m. these are the arrangements in place, and we pray to Almighty Allah to grant his soul peace, and may Allah grant him Al-Jannah Firdaus, and may Allah bring them to Kaduna in peace. And on behalf of myself and the government and the people of Kaduna State, we condole the family, and we also condole the people of Nigeria. Especially, we also want to condole His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces of Nigeria over the demise of his predecessor, General Muhammadu Buhari. May Almighty Allah bless him and give us the fortitude to bear the loss.
Now, the federal government has declared Tuesday, July 15, as a public holiday in honor of the late former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. According to a statement released by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Magdalene Ajani, the holiday is in furtherance to the 7 days of national mourning declared by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The statement says the Honorable Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, made the declaration on behalf of the federal government following the approval of President Tinubu. The minister stated that the holiday is a mark of respect for the late president's service to the nation, his contributions to Nigeria's democratic journey, and his enduring legacy in governance and national development. He urged citizens to use the day to honor the late president's memory by promoting peace, patriotism, and national cohesion in line with his vision for a prosperous and united Nigeria. As earlier announced, the national flags are to fly at half-mast for the next 7 days of mourning period. In other news, hundreds of residents from Yabawa, Maburia, Ragada, Kura and Kumbashi communities of Mariga local government area of Niger State have fled their homes on Monday following fresh attacks by armed bandits. The assailants also reportedly invaded Rijau town, the headquarters of Rijau local government area, around 2 p.m. on Monday, where they kidnapped an unspecified number of residents. A witness from Rijau says several people were abducted while trying to escape the onslaught. Another resident who spoke on the condition of anonymity said the exact number of victims still remains unknown. As of 10 a.m. on Monday, bandits were said to have still been occupying Makuku after forcing residents to flee the area. Women and children were reportedly evacuated via canoes across River Maruru to Gulbimboka, where they are currently seeking refuge. When contacted, the Niger State Police, Commissioner for Homeland Security, Brigadier General Bello Abdullahi, retired, confirmed the attacks. He said security operations were underway to dislodge the bandits and restore order to the affected areas.
Right now, ga sunan cikin garin Rijau, ga sunan cikin garin Rijau, gida suke bi suna fasa shago.
Wannan shine
to Kano, where a tragic incident on Sunday occurred in Abedi, within the Sabongari local government area of the state, as a two-story building still under construction collapsed, killing 4 persons and leaving several others trapped. The incident, which happened at around 6 p.m., has once again raised concerns about building safety and the quality of construction materials used in some areas. Abdulaziz Ibrahim visited the scene of the incident to bring us this report.
For residents of Abedie, it was a rainy but quiet evening until it was suddenly disrupted by the horror of a building collapse around 6 p.m. According to witnesses, several people, including construction workers, passers-by seeking shelter from the rain, and a security guard were inside the partially completed structure when it gave way. Eyewitnesses and nearby residents who spoke on condition of anonymity alleged that the collapse was due to the use of substandard construction materials, pointing to the signs of poor workmanship even up to the point of the incident.
On a good day, when you are passing, if you see the building, you know that this building is not the solid one. On a normal day, when you are passing and you see the building, because nearly every two weeks, you will see them adding building on it, adding building.
Emergency rescue officials described the situation as tragic.
Well, it is unfortunate that and a very sad moment in the history of Kano State again, because when incidents of this nature happens, we always say it's from God, it's from God. Yes, but when you look at what is happening, the substandard building materials used in raising this 3 stairs building, I think it's unfortunate.
Well, we were able to rescue one person alive, and we took 15 unconscious victims to the hospital, and we have about 20 people trapped in the building.
Emergency officials also gave insight into the reasons why rescue operations were delayed.
Human beings, being what we are, the driver has gotten an injury because one of the rods hit his leg. We have to take him to the hospital for him to be attended to. Unfortunately, yesterday was Sunday. Most of the drivers of this kind of heavy trucks were on holiday. So even how to get this one you are seeing around, it took us a long time.
The incident has left the Abedie community in shock and once again underscores the urgent need for stricter oversight and enforcement of building regulations to prevent further tragedies. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, the Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees, FCT chapter, has suspended its 3-month-old strike, directing all members to resume work from midnight Tuesday, July 15th. The decision follows the intervention of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, who had ordered the utilization of 10% of the area council's internally generated revenue to offset 3 months' salary arrears owed to local government workers. In a statement issued after its State Executive Council meeting held on Monday at the union's State Secretariat in Gwagwalada, Nolge says the decision came, quote, after exhaustive deliberations and appeals from the Minister of the FCT, Traditional Council, and other key stakeholders. The union also confirmed its commitment to working with a special committee that has been set up by the Minister to harmonize all outstanding arrears within 2 weeks, aiming for a holistic resolution through the National Assembly House Committee on FCT and Ancillary Matters. It further stated that the engagements with Area Council Chairman will continue to address members' welfare while reaffirming its commitment to industrial harmony. As part of efforts to foster lasting peace and promote social integration, Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri of Adamawa State has inaugurated a Peace, Conflict Resolution and Social Integration Commission. The initiative is designed to directly address conflicts and strengthen harmony among communities across Adamawa State. Trust TV's Gibson Swadigo has more.
This Adamawa Peace, Conflict Resolution and Social Integration Commission, established under Adamawa State Law No. 14 of 2020, is focused on preventing conflicts and promoting peaceful coexistence. Governor Fintri hailed the establishment of the commission as a milestone towards creating a safer, united and more prosperous Adamawa State.
As a government, security of lives and property of our citizens is a priority that occupies a top place on our recalibrated 8-point agenda and an integral part of the Adamawa 2.0, where no one is left behind and nothing is left untouched.
The Commission's objectives include the adoption of proactive measures in the development and implementation of strategies that will promote peace and harmonious living among citizens. This encompasses conflict prevention, non-violent intervention, mediation, and the peaceful resolution of disputes at both communal and inter-ethnic levels across the state.
Your Excellency, sir, I'm here today with these peace-loving citizens of the state to specially say a big thank you for being an ambassador of peace and for this privileged appointment to serve as the chairman of the Peace Commission. We pledge to give in our best in order to put and build a solid foundation that you have laid already.
The Peace Commission is composed of 19 members who represent a diverse range of communities in Adamawa, including traditional leaders, religious figures, farmers, and youth groups. Gibson So Adugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. Benue residents raise alarm over impending release of Lado Dam water. Details of this and many more stories coming up ahead after the break. And we're back. Let's take another look at our top stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima visits former First Lady Aisha Buhari and her children in London. Residents flee as bandits attack Niger communities. Residents of Benue are raising fresh concerns over the imminent threat of flooding following reports of a possible release of water from the Lado Dam in Cameroon. The anxiety is heightened by the onset of heavy rains, sparking fears of widespread displacement and damage across vulnerable communities in the state. Trust TV's correspondent in Benue State reports on the growing apprehension among residents and the state government's efforts to mitigate the impact.
Flood-prone states in Nigeria are bracing for potential flooding through various measures to forestall the imminent disaster as Cameroon prepares to release water from the Lado Dam. The question on the lips of many remains the level of preparation by these flood-prone states to mitigate the impending danger. In Benue State, government said beyond committee meetings, efforts are on to address the River Benue while construction of the Ide Water Canal in Makidi is ongoing, together with other water control projects.
The long-term plan already written to the federal government for a need to evacuate and drench our river. That is what we are doing. Since they are yet to build a dam at the Kashimbra, so we'll continue to create awareness and ask our people who are at the riverine area to move to the high and safer areas. So that is what we are doing until River Benue is completely drainaged.
However, residents are concerned whether these measures will be enough to contain the aftermath of the release of water from the Lado Dam, as they share impact of previous experiences.
The experience is not good at all. I think it's about my 5th year here. The other year, 2022, 2023, thereabout, if I can remember very well, it was really messed up. The whole place was like we couldn't stay. We had to pack out to where we never knew we were going. In fact, some of us, if not for friends, I don't know, it would have been really bad. But we had to pack out. We couldn't stay for almost 2 months. But we eventually came back again. It is not funny. It has not been funny. And then year in, year out, we keep running out and then coming back that way.
The one of last year was more than before. It destroyed our houses, as you can see. We are not staying in a comfortable way. By now we are afraid because we are thinking if the rain is much, we'll still be stranded again. And we don't have anywhere to go.
It's actually a very terrible situation going on here. It's actually very terrible. When the whole project was going on, we thought it's something that would benefit us. But as you can see, it's of no benefit to us. So I actually don't know what's going on or what measures the government is putting in place to ensure that this place is what it's supposed to be. So we are hoping that the government will look into it as it is. You know, the financial issues of this country now, we actually don't have any means or anything at all to put this project going or something. So the government should help us look into it or do something about it.
Government, they sound warnings on a yearly basis. They try to remind us that we live in the flood-prone areas, that we should evacuate, we should back ourselves out. But you find that the issue of housing is very difficult, it's very hard now. The costs of renting an apartment, most especially in a place where you feel you can be slightly comfortable.
The flooding in the state is dredging of the river Benue.
The main thing that government will do to help us to dredge this river Benue and other rivers, big rivers that are connected with it, that will be dredged. Because as the first one happened, it has shifted up the whole sharp sand in the river, thereby making the river not to have depth again. It's not deep enough. Once the water comes, we just overflowed the river and they started spreading out. So unless the river is dredged, if you don't dredge it, like any other canal, they say they are building, that will not solve our own problem here.
Benue residents hope that both the federal and state governments will put mechanisms in place to address this long-standing challenge.
In business, the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPMAN, has called for more competition in the downstream sector. The Executive Secretary, DAPMAN, Olufemi Adewale, made the call in a statement on Sunday while commending the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority for its strategic regulatory oversight, which he said led to the stability, innovation, energy access, and continuing growth in the sector. Adewale urged all stakeholders in the downstream sector to join forces with the NMDPRA to make sure that the sector becomes more competitive to show up the capacity needed for fresh investments, innovation, and sustainable energy solutions. DAPMAN says the NMDPRA, under the leadership of Farouk Ahmed, is transforming the sector, while adding that DAPMAN would continue to support and work with the authority to achieve sustainability in the sector and enhance access to world-class energy solutions across the nation. Moving on to some of the day's other news, at least 89 people were killed in the southern Syrian province of Sueda. The United States government has issued a warning to foreign nationals who overstay their visa validity. The embassy also cautioned that such action could lead to a deportation and a permanent ban from re-entering the United States. In a statement made available to the press on Monday, U.S. immigration authorities reiterated their long-standing policy on visa compliance, warning that those who remain in the United States beyond the authorized period of stay could be deported and could face a permanent ban on traveling to the United States. This warning comes amid rising immigration figures, especially among young Africans, many of whom travel to the United States in pursuit of better education and economic opportunity. According to recent data from the United States Department of Homeland Security, visa overstays represent a significant portion of immigration violations annually, prompting tighter enforcement measures and renewed public awareness by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Talking sports now, Rivers United technical advisor Finidi George says the Eko International preseason tournament will allow his team to map out strategies for the 2025-2026 campaign. The Pride of Rivers are one of the teams that will participate in the tournament. Rivers United will take on Shooting Stars in their first game at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos. Rivers United are also gearing up for the CAF Champions League next season. Well, that is our news roundup for you at this hour. Check back a little later at 9 p.m. for the day's bulletin. For now, feel free to stay in touch by following us across our social media platforms. You can also visit our website, trusttv.com for the latest. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for your time.